Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike, Ed, and Lucas in the house, and it is finally here. The fight we have talked about forever. Jake Paul versus TYRON Woodley going down this Sunday on Showtime, and the combat world is excited. The combat world is pumped for this fight. Everybody is talking about it, and we here at TMZ Sports have talked to some of the biggest stars in the world about this fight, including Mike Tyson, Logan Paul, and Sly Stallone. Let's hear from some of the biggest stars that we have talked to about Jake Paul versus TYRON Woodley.
Hey, I saw you pick Jake Paul in the big fight this weekend. Is that just still your official pick? You sticking by Jake Paul?
Yeah, haven't lost yet. Haven't lost yet on him.
Jake, bigger advantage, his heart or his fist? His punch, sir.
His fist.
Prediction for the fight then? August 29th.
Probably third, fourth round knockout.
Third, fourth round knockout for your brother.
Yeah, for real.
How do you see TYRON getting it done on Sunday?
Let's go TYRON with the second round TKO.
Is this different than the other fights Jake's had? He had an easy win.
Give him the blue Sharpie back. Give him the blue Sharpie back.
Okay.
One guy's a wrestler, the other guy just had a fight.
I believe if he connects a hand on Jake, I don't think that Jake's going to take it. I think he's going to go down, and that's going to be it for the night. You know, I do believe that Woodley can knock him out, and I think that's going to be the outcome at the end of the night.
Obviously, you recognize a lot of those guys. If you're not familiar with the last dude, that is UFC star Vicente Luque, who is actually the last guy to step in the octagon with TYRON Woodley. They had a great fight. Vicente won, but it was a really barn burner of a fight. That brings us to the time to make predictions, fellas. Let's do this thing. This is such a fun fight to predict because I don't think anybody actually knows what's going to happen, but let's give it a shot here. Jake Paul, TYRON Woodley, who wins this thing?
I think you already know who I'm going with, and that's Jake Joseph Paul, the problem child, representing Ohio in his hometown. This is going to be such a shocker for some people, but no, he's proven time and time again. Jake is legit. He's a boxer through and through, and it's going to be awesome to see him shock the world on Sunday night.
How does he win and what round?
I'm going to say, going more towards Logan's prediction, third or fourth round knockout.
Eddie, it's you.
Yeah, you see TYRON Woodley in those clips leading up to this fight. He is absolutely shredded, and that was kind of the when I knew that Ben Askren was probably going to lose the fight to Jake Paul was when he was looking a little doughy. So I'm concerned for Jake here, but I think Jake ultimately wins just because I think Jake is a boxer. I know he's a YouTuber, but I think he's boxed for longer now as opposed to TYRON, who's been UFC fighting and stuff for you know all these years and using his legs and wrestling. So I'm gonna go Jake. I think it's gonna be very, very close. I think it's gonna be tough to tire him out, but I think at the end of the day, I think Jake ultimately punches him for 3 or 4 rounds, and it's over by 3 or 4 rounds.
I think Jake Paul is a talented fighter. I think people have not been fair to him. He has raw talent and ability, and he's a heck of an athlete. With that said, I'm going with the experience here. Even if the experience is in MMA, I'm going TYRON Woodley, third round knockout over Jake Paul. And what is crazy, and I want to say this before we go, Jake Paul is the favorite and a pretty heavy favorite. You have to put down $190 on Jake Paul only to win $100 back. This is against a guy who is fighting one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time. Wild. This is going to be a lot of fun. We have Jake Paul picked. We have a TYRON Woodley pick. So somebody here is going to be wrong. And obviously, come Monday, we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to eat crow, or Lucas and Ed are going to eat crow, but somebody is eating crow.
Not us.